He's on mute.
Unmute. I'm unmuting. Hi, everybody. Will, how are you, bro? I think you're on here.
Yeah, I'm great.
Uh, Hang on. I'm going to pin myself. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Montauk. I've got Stevie here from Red Economics. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. It is a pleasure and an honor always. And I'm a very privileged and fortunate man. I've just got to say. Um, I just wanted to start off with the song that Rebel used to like. Remember that song? Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Montauk. What's the rest of it? The earth and you are ohana. We hope you'll stay on top. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Montauk's really cool for this very simple reason. I care about the planet and all of its inhabitants. That's what I do. And that's the reason why I have this show. And that's why I have great support from people that support what I do. Because there are some people out there that really give a crap and really give a shit and just are, by the way, we're PG-13, but they care about the planet and they care about everything from an atom to a blue whale. And I think that's important. I'm not just talking about eco-socialism, which I think is very close to that, but I'm also talking about the people out there that really give uh, thought and pay attention to what's really happening out there. And there are some people that care and people that don't. And the people that don't um, aren't the Rams, because the Rams are kicking ass right now, by the way, because the Rams are going to be in the Super Bowl. But we have people like the Dumbocrats and the Republicans, which those are legislators, judiciaries, and executives that are, manipulated and beheld to the corporatists and the corporate elite. And there are people like myself and Stevie here, Red in Economics, Sir Chad, who's up there, and William Pounds that care and give a. We care about everything that's going on out there. I mean, I care about Will's future. I care about Sir Chad's future, and everybody else's. But the goal for my show is to make sure that people are aware of who really cares. And for me, I'm a Green. I care about the Green Party. I care about what they do and what they stand for. I think the entire planet should be moving in the green direction, especially with the Green Deal. No, not the fucking Democratic version, which is only the climate change part of it, which isn't going to do anything in the House or the Senate. It's just a talking point. It's just a platitude. You have to know that and realize that from AOC, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. But there are people that really want what's necessary to make sure that the reefs are saved, the lakes and the rivers, the oceans are saved. Stop the nuclear, stop the fracking, stop the coal, stop the fossil fuels. Yep. Am I right? Yep. And I'm getting a yep from Stevie. But here's the biggest goal for me. I want people to come on here, and I want people to enjoy their time and their effort that all of us spend here, because the biggest thing for us, honestly, is to make sure that everybody is informed about what's really going on.
Hey, babe, post a link in the chat so that way Natural Progressive can join in.
Right. Link in chat so Natural Progressive can come in, and others. Just give me a second.
I want to present what I post.
By the way, Will, please go ahead. Sir Chad, everybody jump on. Sorry.
Okay, so I wanted to just show everybody something that happened a while ago. So I made this post, if everybody can see my screen share. I made this post in the Free Thought Project community group, and I just told people to learn from Cynthia McKinney and Ron Paul.
Clicking on
And
stuff.
I said, hey, anarcho-capitalists and anarcho-socialists, if you ever want to accomplish your goals, the deep state will prevent it. Learn to put your differences aside to focus on the common enemy. And then a bunch of people
What the
commented.
hell? Let's talk about. Sorry.
And then this individual, Jason Bassler, who I've been kind of getting to know just a little bit. He co-founded the Free Thought Project that was removed from Facebook, and it had like millions of followers. But Facebook was afraid of that, so they deleted it. So Jason Bassler says, in theory, I like what William is suggesting. Here is the problem. And he posts this meme. And it's just stuff about, socialism being
Oh, you did. You did.
being bad because it needs the state and stuff. I don't know. But then there was a whole bunch of comments later, and I said, if I'm being completely honest, capitalism and socialism require state authority to uphold. State capitalism, an example of that, in order for a CEO of a major corporation like Nestle to hog Earth's resources like water or so forth, that CEO needs cops to prevent the taking of that water without payment. And then state socialism would be, in order for a government to take control over someone's farm, that government is going to need cops to take over the farming property. A mixture of state capitalism and state socialism, a bank foreclosing on multiple homes. Police are used to kick the families out. This happened in 2008 en masse.
I know what to do. Yeah.
And then Chris Hall replied to me. I don't know who Chris Hall is, but he said, I argue that capitalism absolutely does not require the state to operate, he says. I don't know. I just told him I like the idea of a resource-based economy. It seems evolved past the ideas of capitalism, communism, and fascism, in my opinion. If the anarcho-capitalists are really for not letting worthless places like Nestle hog Earth's resources, I'm attracted to that move. And Chris, I said that in response because Chris Hall said to me, in your example of Nestle, without the support of governments, the company would never have been able to legitimately access those resources. And he told me that I don't have a problem with capitalism, I have a problem with government, and that I'm getting the two confused with each other. He told me corporatism and oligarchy are not capitalism. And I suppose I can understand that argument. I don't know. But anyway, that's what's been happening. But also Anarchapulco's coming up. Let me show you that, and I'll be done with my little spiel. Do you see that poster, Chad? Yeah. So Anarchapulco's coming up, and this is where anarchists of all anarcho philosophies get together. Immortal Technique is going to be there. Cynthia McKinney and Ron Paul are going to be there too. And I'm thinking about, I don't know, maybe going to Anarchapulco. I don't know. Because I am going to Mexico. So we'll see.
It's definitely interesting. You're on mute, James.
I'm hearing two people talk. What's up with that?
You hear two people talking?
Hmm.
Am I doubling up when I'm talking?
No, it's two different people.
Oh wait, that's Red in Economics and James, Stevie King, and James. They're engaged.
I've heard. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Where's your ring? We're working on it.
Yeah. Hold on. I think I have YouTube on too. Hold on. That's why.
Oh,
Oh, so you're doubling up.
Oh.
So what's cool? Just to say, what's cool about what Will just showed, and I've got to tell you, the Free Thought Project was exiled from Facebook and social media. So you
What?
still have a connection with them. It's like, you know what? Nobody likes Alex Jones. He's a fucking psychopath. But once you get rid of him, why not get rid of me? Why not get rid of you? You know, so at a
Have
certain
enough of us. How can they get rid of all of us?
no,
Like,
exactly. But there's a billion Alex. If you could type in crazy motherfucker or just crazy nutcases or whatever, you're in YouTube, you were gonna find like 100 fucking people that are just whack.
I mean, the fact that CNN, MSNBC, Fox News has a platform is.
oh, I know. They're crazy
insane
enough
enough.
for all of us.
I mean, that I found that more insane than Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Alex Jones, like we at least the majority of us can recognize, the insanity that it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah. You
for a lot
can.
of people, they look at those and say, "Well, that's news."
Yeah, they're not. Okay, Alex Jones doesn't have. I mean, people, sane people can recognize that he's not a legitimate news source.
Of course.
However, normal people look to our media, our corporate media, and think that everything they say is the truth, which is more dangerous. It looks
Normal
way more
people?
dangerous
You
now.
you said normal people. The only reason why I know you said normal people because that's the mass
Okay,
people.
average people.
I know what you meant. But those are the people that are hypnotized, right? They're all hypnotized.
I'm normal, but I'm not average.
Yeah.
So.
I'm pretty gullible myself, but
The thing is though is with the media, it's like
okay, good.
it's where everything starts from as far as their narrative. It's like their spokesperson for the corrupt. So it's like you still have to know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously they don't report on everything, but yeah, it blows my mind. Like Jank stuff like that. It's the cognitive dissonance where in this one instance they're like, oh yeah, the media is so manipulating until it comes to something that they agree with,
yeah.
and then they're like, or a narrative that they agree with. They're like,
more dangerous than the corporate media because
somebody needs to take off the page.
Is somebody screen sharing right now?
Okay, I think it's all right.
Okay, there we go.
He did that for a
Don't
reason.
you think he's
Okay,
even more
sorry.
dangerous, Hank and TYT, just because they've sucked you in during the Bernie campaign to make you think that they're different, that they're going to tell you the truth, and then next thing you know, they're all over Hillary, and then they're jumping on every little Trump story, like it's the biggest news on earth, and then they find out it's wrong later. So how can you trust them? I mean, but some people do, like they're gods or something.
well, and that bothers me about Jimmy Dore is like the it's okay because he's my friend that I'm going to support him anyways, even though he's a fucking liar. And it's the same
I
thing.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's the same thing that
Call
Bernie.
him out though.
No. Well, I mean,
Like
he but here's the thing. He doesn't call him out like he does the mainstream thing. Not at all. I mean, I've even saw, even Bernie said something about this whole, Venezuelan coup thing and 1/3 of this and all that kind of stuff and even I mean it just blows my mind. Like I don't think he's on the Bernie train, Jimmy. I think he's off that kind of. But
I don't know.
Jamal's on the Bernie train still.
TYT, Chad. He's still TYT.
Well, what's exactly? But I mean, it shows the blind spots, just like this whole issue that I'm going to do the debate thing.
Blind
Yes.
spots.
It's because it's
Blind
like
spot.
your friends,
There's
you
a lot
know,
of blind
it's
spots
okay as
out
long
there.
as
Everybody
long
has blind spots.
it's the enemy you
Yeah.
know. That's it. It's okay because you know them personally, which is the key to everything. Is that, you know, if we know people personally, we can figure out, okay, well, yeah, these people are fucked up in this ways, and we let certain things slide because they're our friends. But understanding that when we're presenting ourselves or putting information out there or standing for something, our silence is sometimes louder than our support of somebody for something. And I see that. I mean,
I agree with that in a lot of ways. Yeah.
It's just farmers.
and then and that's the thing with Jamal. He's been like really on this Bernie train. I don't know. I'm having a hard time listening to him
Yeah.
right
I
now.
don't understand. I'd love to have Jamal on to have this discussion
I've
because
had him on my show like 3 times.
I think Jamal is a very intelligent person, and I mean, he's demonstrated his critical thinking skills. I mean, but when it comes to Bernie, I feel like maybe I'm not seeing it right, but I feel like he's not, like, he's got his blinders on when it comes to Bernie and the 2020. Now, Bernie 2016 was one thing, and I feel like, you know, we have to learn from what happened during that election, from what they did to Bernie, and not just Bernie, but what they did to us mainly, but and how Bernie reacted to it. Did he lay down? Did he fight? He, I mean, he didn't.
But that's the thing, though. No one is going to let a progressive, let alone Bernie. Like Bernie's the last one they're going to let go through the primary, and all of our elections are rigged.
Yep.
We don't have. Venezuela has a better election system than we do. Venezuela, and
Yep.
right now, what are they doing to Venezuela? They're taking out the democratically elected president with a legitimate election, unlike the ones we've had. It's insane to me. It's insanity. I can't even get on board on a candidate right now because I know the minute I do, they're going to cheat them. So I think we're just so beyond the horse race. It's just a show. It's just fake because they will undercut anyone that could possibly do anything for us.
Exactly. They're not going to allow for somebody, if somebody was actually that was running, somebody running that actually represented us, that was willing to fight for us, that had the intelligence, the game plan, and the manpower behind them to implicate the things that they wanted done, and they were running. Do you think they would let that happen?
No, they're not. And
No,
they,
they're not with
if
the
they
people,
were,
of course, no.
if they would, if they were so worried about Russia interfering in our election system, and they kept saying that Russia hacked our election, wouldn't they be screaming from the rooftops about our election integrity? Wouldn't they be screaming about our electoral system? It's just, or the electoral college is what I mean. They'd be screaming from the rooftops if that was legitimately a concern, but it's not. It's not their concern. They're just going to not put a progressive in, and they're pushing Kamala Harris. And I was watching a live stream from that women's march in New York, and they were asking people who they liked for president, and they were like saying Kamala Harris, and they're all in their pussy hats and shit. And oh my God, it made me so mad. It's like these people are just protesting Trump. They're not for anything. They're just against Trump. How's that going to move anything forward?
Well, and there's the other side too. Like there's a lot of people on the Trump side that are they're like quick to say, yeah, let's get out of Syria. Let's not, no more wars, no more interventions. And then you're like, did you hear about the Venezuelan thing? What's going on? Oh, well, there's people dying. Motherfuckers, people dying here every goddamn day. And so what? It's okay if people are dying
And it's
in
only
Venezuela.
going to get worse.
Well, but here's
They're not
the
doing anything to
here's
fix our issues.
here's the point though, is if you say that people are dying because of this, so it's okay for America to go and stage a coup. So if we're dying, people are dying here in our country for this shit. Are we allowed to stage a goddamn coup? There's the point. You see, I mean,
why
they're,
not?
well,
Why
I mean,
not?
well, why not? With a
I would
fucking
love a coup.
knock us out. Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree.
Come on.
You know,
I don't know what country. Norway, come take over the U.S. That'd be great. But it's not going to happen. Because the U.S. has so much military power, and that's why they keep it, because they want to keep us down and keep the power in the elite's hands. That's
So
Good.
I do want to go over this post Jason Vassler made. He's the co-founder of the Free Thought Project, and he was removed. His page was removed, the one with the whole bunch of followers and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But so he's basically sharing this thing from Reuters. Facebook takes steps to prevent removed pages from duplicating content. Facebook Incorporated will make changes to better prevent users who have had their organization's pages removed for violating its rules from using duplicate pages to continue the same activity, it said on Wednesday. The changes aimed at further cracking down on content, including hate speech, graphic violence, and harassment and bullying, will take effect in the next few weeks, the social networking giant said. So, and yada, yada, yada. So then my friend Jason, well, my new friend, we're just getting to know each other. Well, if both our new pages, the Free Thought Project 2.0 and Police the Police 2.0, are taken down, you will know why. We are being hyper vigilant not to break any of Facebook's arbitrary and absurd rules, but that doesn't really matter. If they want to take us down, they will, and they won't give proof or be honest about it. So check out the other places below, he says.
well,
Okay, so just to let you know, 2 days ago, I was scrutinized by Facebook because I have 2 pages up. One with my professional and one with my political. And they wanted me to show them ID and all this to make sure who I was because they thought I was perpetrating a fraud or I was not representing myself. So, Will, this is good information. So, right now, and I know this is going through Chad's head and everybody else's shit. Censorship. It's just they're tightening their knot on us. It's like if you had a noose on your neck, right, and you were about to be hung, they just keep tightening it and tightening it and tightening it to the point to where you're like, I can't even think anymore. You're cutting off my oxygen. That's where Facebook is right now. That's where Twitter is going to be. It's like, and who's making this happen? The corporate elite.
yeah, this was gonna say the rich people.
Yeah.
the elite, the
richest
people
of the
in
rich.
power.
Yes, they
It's-
dictate
yeah.
everything. And that's the issue and the problem that Stevie was talking about in her show earlier is we don't have like public servants anymore. It's like
Right.
we don't have people that represent the people anymore. We have people that represent the 1%, the corporate elite, corporations, et cetera, but in regards to the 99%, it's
No,
not
we don't.
Just
I
nothing.
mean, I was kind of upset about what Joe Rogan said about the Free Thought Project when he had Kyle Kalinske on.
What do you say?
Well, he was basically arguing on Facebook's behalf, and Kyle was arguing on the Free Thought Project's behalf.
Well, I mean, I don't think I think it was more of kind of discussion about the whole issue because it's about the private platform, the public platform kind of thing. First of all, Kyle's another one. I can't fucking stand that guy. You know what I'm saying? Him and his pompous ass saying, oh, well, a third party just won't win, motherfucker. When is the two fucking party actually got us there? When, motherfucker? When's the Democratic? Oh, it's never worked before. Yeah, motherfucker, because bitches like you. When has the two-party system worked?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Wait.
I'm sorry, Kyle Kalinske. Is he?
Yeah.
Kyle is
Kyle
for
Kalinske.
all the above strategy. He'll vote for the most progressive person.
No, but if Bernie, it doesn't matter. The most progressive person in a corrupt system doesn't mean you're progressive just because you're the most. It's
Right,
like
well,
it's like the lesser of evil.
That's why I don't want to focus on the horse race anymore. It's
Right.
like it doesn't do us any good, and
Yeah.
all we're doing is that's dividing us. It's
Well,
not pushing
Exactly.
us together.
But he's pointed, but what I'm saying is we have to point out the direction of the horse.
Mhm.
Because we're all trying to go in one direction, get around the track, and then you have some that are trying to get off the track, and some that are just aren't moving at all.
Well, in a horse
Well-
race, you need somebody on the horse.
See,
to
you,
steer it.
but here's the thing, you guys got it backwards. We don't
A
need.
horse doesn't have.
we
any-
don't-
It's just one
But
There's no fucking reins on that horse.
but well, here's the thing.
on the track.
Going after the horse.
But if you're playing,
I got you.
if you're
I got you.
playing, that's the thing. They're racing horses, and we need to be fucking running our goddamn government. So we need to change the game, change the type of race, rather than playing their
Exactly.
game. So that's the way I mean. It's really going to take people to want to break the two-party system, to stop the two-party narrative, because you know how, I mean, you see it with the whole thing with the Native American and the MAGA boy. You know what I'm saying?
But
You saw it
can't do
right
when
there.
You're voting because our election system is fucked. The minute they see someone gaining any popularity and they get some radar on them, they're gonna screw them.
Go after you. They'll come after you.
Well,
They
I
will.
mean,
Eyes
So-
on shit.
The only thing we can do is shut shit down. Like get in the streets and shut shit down.
Yeah,
Like,
like what do
seriously.
we have control over?
Like
We
not go to Walmart.
We have control
All right.
how we spend our money to a certain degree. I mean, I know there's some
Yeah.
people, depending what area you live in, some people only have a Walmart in their area.
I don't have a
You know?
Tesla. That's what sucks.
But what I'm saying is that we have a certain degree. If you don't have control over where you spend your money, have control over where you put your labor. Try to put that towards, if you don't work for Walmart, work for other people. If you don't have control over that, use your mind. Take the time that you have, if you have that time, to go and research the stuff and put it towards recruiting other people to unionize or to strike or do whatever it is that makes the most impact. Do whatever it is that you can do. I mean,
Shut
some of
down
us, it's just
streets.
whatever it is that you can do. I mean, but if we all do that one part, starve the beast that is that's hunting us. We are feeding the beast that is literally hunting us down and killing us. And we're
Yes,
feeding
I
it on a daily basis.
I agree. We
Yes, sir.
definitely have to disrupt and get attention. Like
So what
serious.
are the pieces? We got to formulate some pieces. I mean, I'm all about Jesse Ventura and the Green Party and all this other stuff. But I mean, there are other pieces that we can take care of. Like we've got the teachers, the United Teachers LA, UTLA, United Teachers of LA that are striking in LA right now. And they're out in masses, and they're going to start, tonight and tomorrow and the next day.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is awesome. And what just happened was West Virginia
Mhm.
was gigantic. They won. What did they win? I don't know.
They won what they deserved. They didn't
Yeah.
win anything extra. They just were fighting for health insurance benefits and a minimal increase in their pay, which is really
Yeah, they
scraps.
got out of wearing
But
one
they
of
got
those Fitbits so they can watch them and raise their insurance if they're not walking enough or something. Is that what they were? I thought I seen something on that.
something really weird like
Yeah.
that. Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's really
guarantee you
crazy.
they didn't get what they deserve.
And-
I
I mean,
promise you
they-
that.
but-
Yeah.
but
that's
so
how-
those little incremental things are important. And
Okay,
Steve,
but
spot on.
But see,
Oh,
there's a
sorry.
thing. Well, the way I say it, it's the incremental stuff is just like you change the system at the root, the corrupt system, we'll get everything we would need. Because if you have an intelligent, a rational conversation with all the information, and you're able to have the conversation with people, you're gonna like, wait a second, we all deserve this. And when you see how the corrupt system fucks everybody. I was talking about this with my buddy today about Venezuela. Everybody's focused on what they're focused on. What's most concerning them. A lot of people's just their daily lives just to survive. A lot of people are putting time in whatever. The thing is, no matter what it is specifically that you focus on the most, it all leads back to the fucking corrupt system and the corrupt people taking money, and these people, no matter the Venezuelan thing goes back to the street, even if you wanted to look at the racist or whatever, it's still being programmed, and it's because of the system, because the people taking the money, and because they report, oh look,
I think we all agree on the problem.
well, but
Yeah.
but see, that's the thing,
Yeah.
is we're not focused on the problem. We're still focused on trying to fix the result of the problem, which is all these little things. It's not about just fighting for Medicare for all, because we can get that
No,
shit.
you need to get the people back
Well,
in control.
Exactly, because we could get that. So it's like,
Yeah.
at what point, or I guess it's the talking point. It's what is the specific thing that we can each identity, because it's identity politics. Everybody has identity politics.
But you have to have a big group of people that are
Right.
unified with the same message.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. And I've been searching for that. And I think I've come close with Extinction Rebellion. And I don't know if y'all heard about it. Well, I
What's it
talked
called?
about it on the chat. It's called
Rebe-
Extinction Rebellion.
Right.
And they want a citizens assembly. And it's not anyone elected. It's more like jury service. So it's random individuals that are put in place. I don't know exactly. We're going to get him or a representative from them on Uphill Media, and we're going to find out more exactly about how that works.
Oh,
But they're a big movement from the UK, and they're coming to the US on Saturday. Their very first demonstration was ginormous. They're super organized. So they closed down like 6 bridges and had like, I don't know, thousands and thousands of people come out. Their very first demonstration.
I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think it has to do with the streets. Because
Yeah,
of
getting out in the streets.
well, no, I'm saying the streets as far as like the black community, because of how the establishment exploits the black community, black culture, black everything. That if the black community really understood, then the streets could do everything, because even the white kids are tuned into the way that they sell black culture. Everything. I mean, that's so. I mean, and I talk.
But every person, white, black, Hispanic,
I think
whatever, who is downtrodden, who is stepped on by the system. I mean, that's who you need to get involved. All the workers and all the people who understand that climate change is huge. I'm sorry, but that needs to be the focus.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been
facing
terrorized
this-
into voting for a
Oh,
certain
the
way.
extinction.
I mean, black people have been terrorized into voting for Democrats because the scary Republicans don't believe that you're people, and then
Right.
white people get terrorized into voting, Republican because, Democrats want to, they're tree hugging hippies that want to take your jobs away, or whatever it is. I mean, no matter what the voting populace.
Minimalizing the
Yeah.
But
white.
we're being divided, and we can't be
But
divided
yes,
anymore.
Exactly.
We need to
But
be
when it comes
united.
down to it, there's only 2 sides, us and them.
Yep.
It's not red versus blue. It's none of that.
It's
Black
the 1%
versus white.
and the 99.
Damn right.
Well,
We've got common ground. It's just about education.
Well, and it's
just
about
knowledge.
and framing
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
here's the thing too. When it talks about green and climate change and all that stuff, on the right, the conservatives are very in denial about climate change, and they're very in denial about stuff changing. About the man-made thing. Obviously, it's indoctrination, it's programming. So it's about framing. If you framed it as, renewable energy, where you get to the point where energy is fucking free because we have a way to generate it. If you framed it in that way, and it creates jobs, it creates this, rather than focusing too hard on the climate change part, you could still get them on board for going green without even having
With
to
the
bring
jobs,
up.
yeah.
You see-
60% of Republicans are already for the Green New Deal.
Well, but
It's
that's
not
but
about getting them on board. It's about getting them in
Well-
a movement that we all work together
well,
on.
but
That's-
my point is more about the framing. Is that every identity, every culture, everybody, it's all about the way they frame the situation. Because think about it, Ocean's 11, right? Ocean's 11, everybody worked together to rob the bank, right?
they all have
Casino.
their little
Right.
specialties.
Well, exactly.
I love
Everybody
the-
everybody has their specialties. Everybody works together for a common goal, and they make it. Now, you could call that socialism. You could call,
Okay.
but you could call it capitalism, however you want it. But it's all about
It's
who.
not
Well,
capitalism.
but here's what I'm
Be right
saying.
back.
Oh,
Be right back. Sorry.
all right, it's about the way things are set up. So again,
We're listening.
framing. If how could you look at um you know Ocean's 11 and not feel comfortable with that scenario? Hey, even the money guy puts his part in because that's his expertise. You know what I mean? That's his part. You got all these different people. Anyway, so like framing it by how much money comes in or how you, I guess, distribute the funds. Again, it's framing. So people would feel more comfortable. Like that's socialism, if you want to look at it like that. There's different ways, or co-opt. I mean, it's a quality life.
Well, when people work together, it's socialism.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that concept. They just don't get it, that it's when people work together, that's socialism. It's not taking money from hardworking people and giving it to other people. Redistribution. We're already redistributing. Taxes are just a way to just keep people down. It's not a way to. It's not what funds anything. I'm sorry. I've been looking into MMT too.
Right.
So,
And then once you learn that, you're like, everything else is there's no reason to
it's
argue.
stupid. Don't tell me you
Right.
can't afford it.
Right.
It's
Well,
like-
yeah, exactly. I mean, you got all this money for everything else, but you don't got enough.
It's just to keep people down. That's the only reason taxes are even there, except for at the state level.
Well-
At the federal level, there's absolutely no reason to have taxes,
Well, but because
except for to keep corporations in line and wealthy people from getting too much power.
right. Well, and then there's the thing too, is the problem is people they kind of know the hustle that the government's doing, but they don't. And understanding MMT, knowing that we're a sovereign nation, we make money out of with a keystroke out of the blue, says okay,
Congress approves it,
if
it's
Congress
there.
does that, so they say okay, well, we're gonna do a $500 billion budget. Let's make sure all our contracts go to our friends, because they kick it back however they do it, and then it's just a big slush fund, and then that's why they do it. They grow their power, and then they keep it, and they grow their families, and they indoctrinate, and then make their family think, oh, we're better than everybody else, kind of thing, because we got the money, and all it is them stealing.
The digits. They're making the digits go their way, because all it is digits.
That's it.
And they're getting them to their, their friends, their contractors, all that, and then they get kickbacks. But it's all digits that Congress approves, and then it's credits
Distributes.
and debits, and it's just stupid. It's like it's not even real. We were off the gold standard a long time ago. That stopped existing because there's not enough gold in the freaking world that's ever been mined to put us back on the gold standard. That's never going to work. And people who argue that are just freaking stupid. If you think there's enough gold to back all the dollars we have with all the freaking people on this planet, you're up in the night. You're just up in the night. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went off.
No, yeah. I mean,
But you do it all the time, so it's
No,
okay.
it's
yeah, exactly. No, I appreciate
It's
it.
okay to go off.
I
Okay,
appreciate
okay.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, that's good work. Good work. So let's summarize real quick. You have these people here. I'm just going to use my screen. There's
Okay.
a small little piece of people here, just like a handful of people that own all the wealth of all these people all the way over here, and then there's us, which is the 99%. The sad part about it is because of Citizens United, McCutcheon versus the FEC, and all the, let's just say, corruption in our campaign finance reform, there is no reform, our campaign finance process, we have no say so anymore. It's been okay. Let me just point this out. So decades ago, you used to be able to go into Congress and walk in and talk to a legislator, talk to a judiciary, talk to an executive. Now you have to have a giant lobbying body and a representative to talk to these people. They've changed everything against The
It's
voting
not about the
republic.
people.
Yeah, the
We the
voting
people
republic.
does no longer exist. It's not the
Yeah,
people.
the voting republic doesn't have anything. So what we need to do is point all this out. We need to make sure that all of that information is related, or excuse me, relayed to everyone. The problem is
Also,
mainstream media won't
sorry.
do it. Mainstream media,
No.
I'm hearing you. Mainstream media will not tell you what's really going on. All they want to talk about is Russia, Russia, Russia.
Hold on.
This,
Good
that,
night,
and the other thing.
Will. Will's got to
Will,
get
Will.
going.
Good night, Will. Good night.
Good night.
Take care,
Night.
everybody. But so what we have to do is, for me, we've got to make our last stand politically. And what I mean by politically, before I grab my tiki torch and my golf club with my hula bra, my coconut bra, my grass skirt.
I'll
and
take the bullwhip.
Yeah, you take the bullwhip. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. And you go, and I'm going to go to the lawns of Congress, and I'm going to storm. But before I do that, I've got to give the Green Party a shot. I have to, and that's why I say that.
Okay, you know what?
And the reason
I
why
will vote Green Party just for you.
No,
I don't really think my vote counts for shit, but I'm going to vote
let's just
because of
say-
local elections.
yeah, but let's
nationally,
hold on. But let's just say this. Let's just say there's imagine there is one Green Party candidate that makes it into the House of Representatives. Never happened.
right?
It's not going to happen in the Senate. There's too much money. It's not going to happen gubernatorial or governorship. It's too much money. But if they have a chance, one, to get in the House, just one. So they have their one moment of time to discuss everything that everybody wants, that the world needs. So you
Yeah,
get
just getting them on stage would be
just
an awesome
one.
thing. Yeah.
Imagine if one Green Party person walked into Congress, would they clap? Would they just be silent? Would they cheer him on?
How did they treat Bernie being the only independent?
But the thing is they'd be scared. There would be some fear.
Oh yeah, because of the voice.
Topics, and they would bring up the talking points, and they would change the narrative. They would turn things in a totally different direction. C-SPAN would cover them. All I'm saying is we've got to give a Green a chance in the House. If we can focus on that, and then if they get in and they fuck up and become corrupt, then I am storming the fucking hills of Congress.
But so do you. Who's going to be there for the Green? Just
there's a lot of candidates out there. There was some.
No one in Utah, so that's like, what do I do? I voted for the only Green on my ballot. When I had a Green on my ballot, I voted for him because I'm all for third party, left wing. So I had one, and I actually knew him because after Bernie lost, I got on board with the Jill Stein campaign, and he was, kind of a Utah representative for that. So I already knew who he was, and he lives in my county. So.
I did the same thing. Listen, natural. I'm telling you, I was out there with blisters on my feet, canvassing, and spent about $200+ for Bernie. In July 15th or 16th of 2016, when he folded and bent over and became Hillary Clinton's cabin boy, that was the most.
That was destructive. That was so destructive.
I've had problems with exes and the whole 9 yards, and life has sucked for me. But that was truly painstaking for me. It was traumatic.
I still feel it. Like when I think about it, I still feel it. It was so heart-wrenching and horrible. It was bad enough he lost the primary, and then he had to go and go on tour.
Well, he didn't.
It's like, are you serious?
It's like shaming, like in Game of Thrones when they made Cersei walk like naked through the streets. That's basically what they did to Bernie.
Well,
it's devastating, and a lot of people lost respect for him, and you can understand why.
But
you really can.
What's the hardest?
I have respect to a certain degree because, he did come here. He opened a lot of people's eyes. He opened my eyes. He came here. and got people talking about and fighting for a lot of stuff. Take my turn. But at the same time, when it was really critical, we wouldn't be at this point if he would have fought for us and what really happened during the election. I feel like
Yeah, he should have stood up for what happened, but we don't know what happened
robbed
behind the
us.
scenes. And
Right.
I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. I
Yeah.
think
I don't
something
think
really
that.
shitty. Did you know they actually assassinated Martin Luther King? Like
Yeah.
Of
it was
course.
proven in court.
Of course.
So, with that kind of stuff to hold over your head, and he's got a family,
Yeah,
he's
it's like
got a
Seth
wife,
Rich. It's like
and Seth Rich. There's that too, which
Look-
everyone it's a conspiracy. It's not a freaking conspiracy. He was in the DNC. We know it was a leak and not a freaking hack, and there was no way that all that documentation could have been uploaded on the internet in the amount of time it was. It's so stupid for people to. Sorry, I'm gonna go off on that one.
Which
Okay.
and here's
No,
no, it's okay.
We
Well,
embrace
here's-
France.
Yeah, we embrace brands.
oh my God, you're in for it then.
Good.
Oh,
Like I said, it makes me
I'm
feel better.
bad.
Um,
Once I get started, it's hard.
what's the next thing with the whole burning? What bothers me the most is the support by people. It's like what makes you what makes anybody think that if he's gonna stand up now? That's the whole thing. Like I just don't understand it.
They're not going to let him win, and I don't understand.
Well, I don't think he
kinda
wants to win.
because I really wanted to hold on to that hope, and I still have my Bernie 2016 sign that I had at his rally, so I kind of understand that, holding on to that hope.
yep.
I still got my Bernie shirt.
but-
I still got my Bernie
I
pants.
got Bernie
But see,
stickers.
I think
But
motherfucker.
I hope one day he becomes the kind of person that I can feel comfortable wearing
look-
that again.
Wait. can
oh
you
no,
see that?
it's embarrassing.
he's gonna-
Embarrassing. It's embarrassing shit for me
That's the thing.
because I was
But the way
Been there, bought the shirt, hat, button. everything. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. It's really hard to let that go. And
I
especially if
I
you
there was
don't-
a moment. There was a moment that he could have just, and we all felt it when they robbed him, and he stepped down and he stayed silent, and we all felt that moment when we knew there was a moment where he could have done the right thing, even though it might have cost him something. But
he could. You don't know what happened there, but
well,
at
but
least
it doesn't
I
matter.
don't.
It doesn't matter
But
what
the thing
happened.
that pisses me off. Wait, hold on, Chad. Hold on, just a sec. I have a
Yeah.
point to make. The people, the supporters, are the ones that made me more mad than even Bernie, because I don't know what happened with Bernie, but I know people like me who were Bernie people, and what pissed me off is the write-in for Bernie, like the ones that were going to write him in, which would do absolutely no good. Have you heard anything about any numbers for anybody that written in Bernie? Is there any freaking numbers?
No.
Okay, but if they would have voted for Jill Stein, maybe we would have had a third party that was eligible for the debates.
Do we?
And
But
I was making that argument for the whole entire general election after Bernie lost. Vote for Jill Stein and at least get a third party. Even if she won't win, we may have a third party in the debates. Those people pissed me off more than Bernie did.
I think I just.
you know what I thought about, and which I thought was the most classy thing Jill Stein could have done is offer up to run with her, and in that way.
She would have been VP. She did that.
That's what I think. Bernie knew the whole time he wasn't going to get there. That's like you, because he said, "Don't if I tell you who to vote for, don't believe me or something."
He said that.
So exactly. So I think
and
from the
everybody
beginning.
knew that. There was a supporter of his. Everybody who was a supporter heard him say that at one point or another during the campaign, and so we listened to him. And those stupid motherfuckers who still pushed Hillary Clinton despite that. If TYT would have pushed Jill Stein and Sam Cedar and Packman and Dixon, if they would have pushed Jill Stein instead of sheepdogging to freaking Hillary, then maybe we would have another party to choose from.
But see, there's a thing.
Another party on the debate stage.
But see,
There
there's
we go.
a
I'm
thing.
done.
There's a thing.
No, that's a great point. Hold on, Chad, just a second. The greatest point that Natural is bringing up is publicity. and advertising, and it's marketing 101. So what happened to Bernie is as soon as he slipped away, they brought up Hillary to be it, right? They just totally and amazingly, it was like
Fell in line.
they
Even though Jill Stein had the
every
same
media
policies
outlet
as
fell in
Bernie
line
did.
for her. No,
It
every
was
media outlet
natural to
fell
go
in
to
line.
Jill Stein.
Yeah, so he faded away. So the thing, so what I'm saying is, at a certain point, whoever we choose next, social media wise, that has to be the person.
It's like we're just we can steer. They can steer us so easily. They take away the person that we actually want, that we believe in, and because they do this, that we'll fall in line exactly with what they want us to do.
Mhm.
Exactly. Like they don't want Trump. Like they don't like and embrace Trump. There's a group of people out there that do not like him for his crass comments, that he doesn't come off as sophisticated as the other ones do. But he doesn't, but at the end of the day, they love his policies. They love everything that he does. Does he still go on with the wars? Yes. Does he still give tax cuts to the rich? Yes. Does he still screw over all of us? Yes.
Yeah.
Do we get anything that we want? No. They love him, and they give ratings.
They will defend him till the day they die.
Well,
I know.
and
My
you-
whole family are Trump supporters.
Well,
It's
here's
like,
the thing. You talk about the publicity
Sorry.
stuff too. The thing about TYT is Jank is the mainstream media and their narrative, blah blah. But they fell for the goddamn fear drum. There was no conversation about WikiLeaks. No, you're a journalist, asshole. You have a fucking journal, a fucking network, and you're not fucking talking about fucking Julian Assange every goddamn day. And that's
Yeah.
so to sit there in that cognitive dissonance, and it just pisses me off. It's like okay, because here's the thing: is it doesn't matter who it is, they're always going to beat the fear drum for the opposition. So they say, well, you have to pick ours because look at the other people. Always they just beat the fear drum, and then it doesn't matter. You're always going to be afraid of the other guy, so you have to pick the lesser of evil. That's their whole fucking thing. And for someone like that, it's people. It's the cognitive dissonance, and it's same thing when I was talking about the Green Party. Is the blind spots on your own goddamn side? Is you let it go that they're acting like assholes. You let it go because they're on your team. No, motherfucker.
I'm not a team player. That was one of my first videos. I am not a team player. I will not be a team player. I'm for policies. I'm for what the people need. I'm not for a freaking
Of
team.
course.
If
But-
someone's
but-
not representing me, I want nothing to do with them.
Right. Well,
So here's the thing that we're pushing, and what we're not pushing. It's just me, and I know Chad and Will's with us. Is the people that have the loudest voices get the recognition,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're Bernie Sanders, you can steer yourself towards the Democratic Party. If you're Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you can steer people towards the Democratic Party. If
Mhm.
you're whoever on the Republican side, you can steer them towards the Republican Party. But what I'm
Sure.
saying is, I said Democratic and Republican. But anyway,
Yeah.
what I'm
We went through them all. It's all good.
what I'm really getting to is when you talk about Jimmy Dore, when you talk about the sane progressive, we talk about Jamal, when you talk about Tim Black, when you talk about all these people that have social media kind of in a little position, and you have some others out there that have the say, their only position, in my professional opinion, should be steering us away. And I'm not talking about Kyle, I'm talking about Kyle Kalinske. I'm talking about a lot of social media, and I'm talking a lot about tons of media sources out there that need to be directing themselves towards a third party. The third party is what you talked about. Natural is very simple. If they were, and you said this, if they were to focus their time and energy on a third party that would
Mhm.
just change so much.
Well, a third
Mhm.
voice,
change
just a
everything.
voice,
And
something
that's what
else.
we
Yeah.
all need to do. Jimmy needs to stop talking about Justice Democrats.
Oh,
Period.
But-
That drives me crazy. He talks about Ocasek. He talks about Ro Khanna. He talks about these people
I'm
that
tired about
are not.
hearing all of them. I don't want to hear about any of them
I-
right now.
the
No,
only
I just
the
feel
only
like
thing,
it's-
Bernie,
it's
yeah, the only thing.
wasted energy until after the primary because you know they're going to get cheated.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ones you want are going to get cheated
Cheated
anyway.
or
So
bought.
why even bother thinking about it? They're just going to get cheated.
Yeah, either you're in the fight with us,
Mhm.
or you're not. You don't register to me. Like, I'm not saying that you're an enemy, but I'm just saying, like, if you're not helping right now, like, I don't have time to waste dealing with people that aren't willing to help at this point. Like Cal Kalinske, is he a bad dude? I don't think so.
No, I think he's sincere in what he
he's
talks about.
sincere, but I feel like it's that hopey changey thing that I feel like he's like, oh,
That's getting hard to listen to with all of them, though.
I
The
think-
hopey
Yeah,
changing.
like-
thing,
But
I
it's
think all
pompous.
of them is getting
But
hard.
it is. It's pompous. These people get pompous when they start getting thing, and they're like, "Oh, I've got this power now. Look what we've done with
No,
the
he
Justice
gets problems with that
Democrats."
for sure.
No, but I think our small networks, like if we build a network with all of the small channels that we have,
Mhm.
there's Independent Outsider, there's you, there's this $27. If you don't know him, you should watch him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. Oh, who else? There's a lot of them, and I'm encouraging people who watch my show to start their own channels and make our voice bigger than anyone else. It's like let the people be heard. And I don't know. I don't even care, if you have differences than me. Just start your own channel and be bigger than the media that has alternative motive.
Oh my God, we were just talking about Debbie, the same progressive, earlier.
Oh,
Yes.
I liked her a
I
lot.
miss her so much. I mean, I got to attribute a lot of my information from her.
About the
Her,
election fraud and all that. Yeah, I was a
Abby
big.
Martin. I mean, these are like just incredibly intelligent,
Mhm.
strong women that I just think. I mean, I want to that's who I want to be, my girl. Yeah.
Oh, she's
they
awesome.
are just
Yeah.
on point. But I mean, I understand that with as far as saying progressive goes, there's just a lot going on. And she's been in this game and she has been carrying the torch for so long. She has put in the work of, I mean, teams of people, just her
Mhm.
alone.
An army of all. Yeah, everything
Yeah,
she did.
she's
did
a
lot of
one woman army, and it's
Mhm.
time for other people to pick up the fight with her. Because I mean, I don't know what she's doing at this point in time, but
I don't
mean,
know. She
I mean,
disappeared.
she's done enough work for all of us, so I'm
Mhm.
willing to continue it.
What are you laughing about, James? And by the way, you don't have to call me natural progressive, James. I'm Chris.
Oh, sorry,
Okay,
Chris.
I wasn't
No,
really sure
my
about
bad. I
that because
just
some
kept saying
people
that. I
don't want to
kept
go with
saying
their
natural.
name.
I'm just trying to brand you. My apologies. But I've got Gardner, who's just amazing. Forsaken still here, which he's.
I wish I could read the comments. I could never do
No,
that and do the
I gotta
videos
tell
at
you,
the same
Gardner's
time.
just amazing. We got this little thing about Jank.
Jinx.
Jinx. No,
Jank?
it's Jinx. It's Jinx. He if Saint Huger, what's his
Jink.
Jinx.
Chink.
Huger.
Chink.
What is
Like
Saint?
with a
You
J.
say saint?
Gardner would scratch him like a fucking cat.
Oh, Gordon love.
Oh, he didn't. He doesn't love Jank at all. But it's
Who all
funny.
is here? Who
Well-
do we know that's here? Read off the names of the people in the chat.
We
I
got
wanna-
Jonathan Melton, always awesome. Gardner Forsaken's here, which is on
Firefly.
All right.
Firefly. Hello, guys.
I haven't seen Firefly
I
before.
haven't seen Firefly in a while. It's cool. Hello, FC. Debbie, but she's better.
It's these.
And Brian Blair. Awesome. Brian Blair is here.
It's these.
TYT actually got me. TYT and John Oliver got me into this
I
stuff.
fucking hate
I
John
know, and
Oliver.
then John Oliver just went the other way.
All
and
of
you're
them. Well, see
Yeah.
what happens is. Well, see
Oh,
what
he just
happens
went
is.
full on fucking corporatist.
What happens is we wake up and then we see who the fucking liars are, who the
Jon
sheepdogs
Stewart
are.
was awesome, and then
Yeah.
even you
I
know,
mean, even
before he left,
Colbert.
and then he went a little screwball.
Colbert. He was fucking good when he
Colbert
was
was
on.
awesome.
Like, but see, there's the thing. It's like, dude, you're on fucking Trump's dick all day long, and you're in the establishment's dick all day long. Like, I'm so tired of this shit. And like we were talking about Jamal, same thing before. I hate it. I love to death. But again, motherfuckers I don't know. I don't know. They seem like they get too pompous, like too confident, like, and then like, oh, I'm just like, people just fucking forget. They forget all the shit that they talk about, all the shit that they're upset about, that they don't like, that are against. When it comes to, Bernie Sanders, Democratic Party, two people, two party is the only way. Like, it's so
consistency. If people would just hold themselves to consistency, I feel like that would solve a lot of our problems. Because like with as far as like Cal and a lot of these other people, same things that they're criticizing about other groups of people. You know, if I'm not being consistent in my beliefs, I would hope that I get called out on that.
Me
'Cause I
too.
want to be consistent.
Me too.
because
I'm
if something
afraid of doing
doesn't
that.
add up, it's like that means I need to go back and reevaluate something because something's not adding up. But for
Mhm.
them, they allow these inconsistencies. They allow themselves to go back and forth and to back this person and that person. And it's okay if this party doesn't adopt this party. You know, it's okay for this media outlet to be reactionary, but not this one. And then that's how we get these double standards in team versus like fact and nonsense, which is what right now there's no facts anymore. There's no facts. We're post factual.
Well, but yes and no. I mean, it's not just facts. It's about processing the facts, like the information. It's like the whole thing, the native thing, whatever the thing this weekend with the native. It's like the fact that they were confronting each other. They were there, but it was the processing, understanding. Okay, well, let's look at the entire video. Let's look at the entire thing. Let's be able to address or point out. If somebody stole something, you're not going to say they assaulted somebody. You know what I mean? You're not doing any good if you're painting somebody with the brush that's something they didn't do.
You don't
And
think
that's
so?
so.
I haven't seen
I'm
any
just-
evidence. I wouldn't put that out there unless I knew for a fact.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I'm just saying. I put in a little notation about. I wonder who's getting paid these days on social media. Fucking, I'm not. I know Kyle is. I mean,
Do you?
The reason why I believe that Kyle Kalinske is getting a little taste of the DCCC is because he goes pretty far with his, and I hate using this word, progressivism, but he goes far and then he retracts. He goes pretty far and then he retracts.
That seems like a personal thing, like his comfort zone, not so much that he's getting paid, but just
No,
it's like
I just don't
his
think
belief. For me, just from what
It's
I've
like
seen,
he's getting fooled. It's
it
like he's
just seems
getting
like
played.
well, I mean, we all are. It's
Yeah.
a comfort zone. There's a comfort zone in your beliefs.
Yeah.
What-
And then he's got a lot of people around him that back him up and pat him on the back for believing
For
stuff
believing
like that.
democratically.
And there's the thing, I think he does a lot of it for clicks, a lot of it for, and that's what happens is once you get caught up into that thing, and then you start getting patted on the back by people you never got patted on the back before. You're like, oh, wait a second, now people kind of respect me. Now look, I'm on Joe Rogan acting like an asshole, trying to be funny to Joe Rogan, trying to be cool, and I look like a fucking dork, man. Like trying to tell Joe Rogan about something. No, man, shut the fuck up.
I
that
kind of
guy-
like
that-
the guys on Joe Rogan. Sorry, I was away for a minute.
You see what? Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like,
But I liked them on Joe Rogan. That was like almost seeing their true.
no. I mean,
thing.
I'm not saying I like them to be on there. Like I say, I like people to show their ass. Like that's for me. Like let people talk. Push people to the limit where they really show who they are, and then they really start. I'm fine with that. What I'm saying is with he just well, Kyle's just pompous, and then I don't know.
I can see how people can see that, but I really like it when he goes off. Kind of like I like it when you go off.
Yeah.
I
Kind of
like
the same
how
thing.
Cal has a lot of good points. Like when he did like a 30-minute long Richard Ojeda video, and I started watching it, and he agreed with a lot of the same stuff that I was saying, as far as like I like this part, but not his war stance. I want to hear more about this. This part's troubling. Like he's got those the ability to question stuff, and I think that he does. But we've all got blind spots, and I think his blind spot is he really truly wants the Democrats to mean something and to stand for something. For me, I have no personal ties or connections to the Democratic Party. They've done nothing for me. So I don't feel obligated to like reform them in any way or to do anything of that nature. But some people do. And I think like if they really want that to happen, present me a good game plan. But so far,
I understand it though. I mean, and I was a state
I don't
delegate,
think it makes him a
so
bad person. I just disagree with his tactics.
I put everything I had into the Democratic Party for the whole primary election.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got screwed. So I have no allegiance to the Democratic Party whatsoever. And maybe if he had gone through something like that, maybe he would feel the same way. I don't know. I mean, I let people have their own experiences and come to their own conclusions. But what I do like is him calling people out on both sides, and anyone who I think seems genuine, I'll listen to, even if I don't agree with them. So I'm just trying to get different perspectives personally.
which is absolutely important because you're supposed to talk things out. You're supposed to hear like different sides and really process the information. That's like I was trying to say, with the justice system, obviously, and how the prison for profit, there's more people in jail for cannabis than all violent crimes combined. Blacks and minorities are 4 to 5 times likely to have longer sentences. All that
And
kind
the
of stuff.
DUI laws are the same thing that are unequally used against Black people and even poor white people, because it's ridiculous. There should be only one law about driving. If you drive recklessly or break laws, then they give you tickets. I mean, why is it you get off with a like $100 fine if you're texting while driving, which is 20 times more dangerous, at least, than drunk driving? I mean, and most accidents, sorry, I'm on this one because Utah just lowered their DUI thing to 0.05, the lowest in the country. And just like, you can't even have one drink at a restaurant and drive home now. You're screwed. You have to buy another service to get home. And you're not even anywhere impaired after one drink.
And that's what I was trying to paint out too is they report the result of the corruption. They report since there's more Black people in jail for cannabis and all violent crimes combined, that whole thing, they report that, and saying look. Wait, Black people must be more criminal because there's more in jail, rather than being able to process the information, say why is it happening, and put all the facts together. Because everybody knows our government's corrupt. Everybody knows it's all about money. Everybody knows all this kind of stuff, but they don't agree to it, or they don't admit it when it comes to somebody that they like personally, and they can't acknowledge, okay, like they can't acknowledge how somebody got to a position of power without, You all right there, you guys?
I don't know. It looks.
You're gonna get us you're gonna get us kicked off Facebook.
Yeah,
damn, girl.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the Green Party Nation.
Puppy. Oh.
Isn't he cute? This is my tough.
Adorable.
Rosenfield 10 is here. Good to see you, buddy.
Rosenfield has a channel too.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. That's right. Okay, I just
be careful. Be careful, though. They're gonna get rid of the. Oh, by the way, Naomi Osaka made it to finals of the Australian Open. So, yay! My buddy's the coach or whatnot. So we're close with them. Yeah. So she made it to the finals. Shit's crazy. She's like breaking all sorts of things and shit that.
Yeah, they gave her a whole $16, and it's amazing. How do you lose with $16 against Joe Manchin? I mean, who's a millionaire?
No, I think she was close.
Well, and speaking of that too, the Joe Crowley thing, That's why I think Bernie Sanders and AOC are what keeping people from actually really reforming the Democratic Party, from actually really leaving. They think, oh look, I got in, or AOC thinks I got in. Maybe, I don't know, but she's obviously playing politics and bullshit. But there's the thing about Joe Crowley. Joe Crowley was out anyways because he got caught saying we rigged the fucking elections. That was that whole thing that dropped where the guy got him on the recording. So, I mean, I'm going all over the place, but
I know, but you're passionate, and that's good.
I've been really frustrated the last couple of days, especially this whole Venezuelan thing. It just really.
Oh man, that made me ill. That just made me ill.
You're not going to see what the damage till 10, 15, 20 years, 30. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you'll see some. I mean, obviously we saw what happened in Iraq and shit like that, but you don't really know the damage. Because, I mean, some of that shit's ungageable, unverifiable, because you don't know. And then it's splitting everybody up. I talk.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up as you're typing.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Keep your head up.
That's so frustrating. Hi, Cash. You opened the door. You were going to wake up Dad. Hold on. Just a sec. I got it.
And So you think that it would be more beneficial to have? I mean, obviously we need people as far as green in Congress, right? You know, but you think it would be more beneficial to actually have somebody in there in all these little things, or would it be better to have a candidate that raised so much noise that it actually pushed things? You know what I mean? Obviously you need both. I mean, I think
it's good to have Ojeda to bring up stuff, even though he's definitely not perfect, but just to bring up certain issues. I think it's good to have Tulsi. I think it's good to, I don't know where the hell Nina Turner is. It's right.
Another.
What happened to her? I haven't heard anything from her in a while.
Well, she shot herself in the foot too.
Either.
But I don't know.
Anyway, the more progressive voices, I think that's more important than the actual election, because I know that they're going to screw any progressives. I just know they're going to screw the progressive.
See, Nina Turner, she preaches too much. Here's the thing, too much preaching,
which isn't my favorite thing. I don't like religious things.
Damn it! Fucking talk about the goddamn corruption. Nothing else matters if we can't vote. Nothing else matters. What all the election shit? If you're not talking about your party, like,
are you guys going to bed?
I got up at it's like 7 o'clock.
Like
this
7
morning.
o'clock.
I know. I've been working 13-hour days, so.
Well, we got so many people. Garden next, you know what?
I know. Garden coming for Forsaken and Roseville and everybody. It's just like the longer we do this, the more people. I'm just like, I haven't seen these people in forever.
This is when the night owls come out. It's like
is there anyone new?
This is like second shift.
Anyone new?
I know Firefly's kind of new. I don't.
Yeah, I haven't seen Firefly on here, but
by the way, tomorrow, if you guys don't know, the Green, I'm going to be debating Tony Smith from Green News Network tomorrow on this channel, on the Green Party Nation. Huh?
On this channel? Wait, on Manitalk?
Well, I mean, I guess we could stream on Montauk if you want, but the Green Party Nation.
You're doing that.
Do you have a channel, Chad? What's your channel?
Well, my channel, State of Sir Chad, is my YouTube, but we have the Green Party Nation, which is going to be like the hub, and I'm trying to do a lot of things for a platform for people to actually have the conversation. So I'm starting.
Green Nation. Wait, slow down.
Kind of old school.
Green Party Nation.
Green Party Nation. I'm writing this down because I want as many channels to watch as possible.
So Chris, we'll send you the link. We'll put the link in here. But Sir Chad, I know. I want you to do this for me. 2 ears, 1 mouth. 2 ears, 1 mouth.
I get you. Did you watch the debate the other day with Harsh, the second debate with him?
Yeah.
So it was more calm. See, here's the thing.
I skipped through it, but yeah.
It was way more calm. And having it. See, here's the thing, is setting up. That's what Green Party Nation for me. I wanted to have a platform where people could actually have discussion, because I know me that if it's something that I'm involved with, you want to make sure you have voices, because you don't want to silence those voices because they're still working. You're still out there working. You want to put those voices on blast and show them where they're lying, show them where they're bullshitting. So people, it gets that shit out the way. So that's for me. Like, so
Yes.
so I'm excited because I've had
Yeah.
a lot of
Just be careful. There's triggers out there. I get triggered.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. I'm not worried about that shit. I mean, he's saying all I have to do with Tony is show the video where he said we're a democratically ran thing and Chad got kicked out because he wanted to do this without going democratic process. All I got to do is show him here's the idea I showed you right before you actually called the meeting to get me in, and then here's where Harsh said you did say I could do what I needed to. Here's where they told me finally that they vote for to do this, and here's the screenshot of vote, and here's when I asked about it, here's where the guy that you stood up for was talking shit, and here's where I called his ass out for in the same way that you guys talk, in the same type of vernacular. He wants to call something shitty, I'm gonna call something shitty too, and here's it is, and then here's all the way down the line where you're still lying about it. And that's what I told him. I said, I look forward to showing you, look forward to proving you're a liar and watching you try to defend it. I'm excited about it because that's it.
Good night, Brian.
That's all I got to do.
Common ground. Remember.
Well, I mean, but you can't get a common ground until a motherfucker admits you're a goddamn liar. That's the first thing. You know what I mean? It's common.
I don't know. He's not going to do that, Chad.
Who? Oh, I'm not worried about.
I just don't like getting bogged down in all this stuff.
He's not going to admit anything. What he's going to do is going to talk to you and try to push.
Actually, Gary's coming on. So Gary, I like Gary because he seems to have like a nice solid voice, and
do you have a moderator or somebody?
Well, Gary's going to do it. Well, here's the thing. Harsh respects.
If you lose your temper, you lose the argument. Okay.
You see what?
If you lose your temper, you lose the argument.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yeah. Well, I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. The argument is already won. It's already won because the facts are there. Now, well, but I understand what you're saying. I understand you guys watch my frustration and make sure I stay calm. I get it. That's everybody's advice, but I get it. I'm using their tactics.
But I like your passion, though, Chad. Just try to stop every once in a while and listen to the other person, and really listen. Don't just think what you're going to say next, but really listen and try to absorb what they're saying, and then talk.
I do.
It's a Taoist thing.
This is tough for me too. She's right. Chris is right.
I do too.
I will, as I'm listening to somebody argue with me or debate or rebuttal or whatever they're doing, I will try to think of what
your next argument.
I'm going to try to think of how I can defend myself before I listen to what they're saying.
Right.
And that's where I fall short.
I've done that for a long time, and I still am guilty of that, but I try not to do that. I try not to think of my next thing I want to say before I listen to what they're saying, because you can learn something new, and it's amazing when you do that.
Well, you guys have to remember, Tony doesn't really say anything. These people don't really say anything. And yes, there's at a certain point you don't need to get frustrated and upset about it. You just need to let them show their ass, prove it, and make them look stupid. And that's the thing with this platform. It's a better turf, and it's not on Harsh's thing. It's not on these things where it's an echo chamber of assholes. You know what I mean? Like just supporting their team, just to support their team.
Yeah, I don't like echo chambers. I like to have real discussions personally.
Yeah.
So I mean, but see, with Tony, like we talked about this as the part of the rules. He's like, I get loud and I cuss. I was like, dude, that doesn't bother me at all. Get loud, cuss all you want to. Those can be the rules of the debate. That's fine. My thing is just you just gotta let him talk, because he will actually contradict his shit, just like Harsh contradicted his shit. So. But anyways,
fight with Harsh?
No more fighting.
It's not fighting. It's not fighting.
It's been a long night. I'm gonna grab a little bite. I'm going to sleep. So
All right.
Chad,
Me
good luck
too.
tomorrow.
I have to get up and work another long
Yeah.
day. So.
Chris, thank you for coming out.
Yeah, we
Good
really
seeing you.
appreciate it.
Thank
It
you.
is
Yeah,
always
Stevie,
good
we
to
gotta do a mano y mano, you and me,
Oh yeah,
Okay,
for
mano a
sure.
mano. For sure.
without the boys
Without
interfering.
the guys.
Yeah.
Get the fucking guys out of the equation,
Yeah,
man.
get
The
the
other-
girl.
the
Damn.
testosterone.
It's okay if James
Yeah.
hangs out and maybe occasionally puts a word in, but mostly I want to talk to Stevie. Sorry.
I love it. Let's stream it on Green Party Nation too, because I mean we need more women voices. We need intelligent women that knows what the fuck's going on to be able
There's
to.
not that many. Like I just joined Uphill Media. They don't have enough women. And they
She's
just
right.
have Laura who's on vacation, and then suddenly I get assistant producer job because she's out. It's like, I didn't sign
Wow.
on to do that.
All right, I'm going to get going, guys. Let's shut it
Okay,
down, Sir
okay.
Chad. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, Sir Chad, for putting this together. I'm going to get my internet connection working so I'll be able to solo a little
This
more.
was great. Email me so I have your email.
Okay,
Yes.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Mine is
Not
the same
me.
as my YouTube channel. It's the Natural Progressive at Gmail.
Oh, mine's
Don't say it.
why can't I say it?
Not
You can
okay.
email
Goodbye,
me.
guys. Aloha.